Good morning, kids. We're here today to check out a brand new video from True Green 7. What if Eeveelutions evolved again? Now, some of y'all probably remember back in July, I did a video watching someone else create dual type evolutions for the Eeveelutions. So now, today, we're gonna check it out from True Green 7's point of view, and let's see what he does. Does he keep them single type, or does he give them a dual typing? Like Prog Magic did. Anyway, let's hop in.
Hey guys, Ron here, and Eeveelution content gets views on this channel, so we're back at it again. But also I'm a
Yes,
big
it
fan of
does.
Eeveelutions. I have no negative feelings towards any of them. That's why I would love to see them reach even higher potentials. Even though Eeveelutions are already relatively powerful Pokemon, since I have
They
the
all
power
pretty
and
damn
will,
strong.
I'm gonna evolve them one final time. I mean, to those who have paid attention to the stats of the Eeveelutions, that means that all of the Fakemon I'm creating today are technically legendary. Not only stat-wise, but lore-wise as well. I want to expand on the
Oh, yeah,
existing
that would
lore of
make sense.
Eeveelutions and even give them additional types that haven't been incorporated into Eeveelutions. What if Eevee's unstable DNA made it evolve once again? Let's find
Haha.
out. But remember, I'm not mega evolving
Yeah,
Eeveelutions
so
here.
he-
I'm not
oops.
just adding a
There we go. He's literally doing his own type of the, what if Eeveelutions had dual type evolutions from Prog Magic? Alright then, not bad.
few extra
Not bad at
traits
all.
like armor or jewels to existing Eeveelutions. They will be completely new Pokemon, just like how Shiftry isn't just a fancier Nuzleaf, or how Ludicolo isn't just a bigger Lombre. The whole point is that
I
they
mean,
are the
kind of
next
is,
step
though.
in the line. So expect what you love about Sylveon to not really be completely intact in its evolved form. Or do,
that's fine.
I don't know what you like. I mean, I can confirm that the Sylveon evolution that I'm making has the same color scheme, and if that's your favorite part of Sylveon, like it is mine, then you're gonna be satisfied. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and definitely subscribe so I know that you want to see a part 2 and evolutions to the remaining half of the Eeveelutions. How about we start with Umbreon?
Oh.
No particular reason other than I think this guy is gonna
Okay, so he's not doing it to all of them, just to 4 of them. Okay, well, let's
have
see
the
who
least
it
amount of
is.
changes, and I want to ease you into the concept of this video. Don't want to
Umbreon,
scare
of
you.
course.
Although,
Right,
to be fair,
right.
the whole point of the evolution I'm cooking up is that it's a scary predator. Umbreon already is, but what if it were more imposing visually and way more dangerous? Umbreon was destined to be a poison type. Its beta concept was a poison evolution. Its Pokedex entries talk at length about how it sweats and sprays poison. So I want to fully commit and expand on this trait along with its ability to blend into its surroundings and hunt down prey. I'm going to turn its pointy
Ooh.
parts into stingers and give it the look of a leopard and by extension a panther. Spots that can change color will adorn its fur. It'll look like a predator on an alien planet. The whole point is that Eevee has now fully evolved into the ultimate killing machine. I'm starting with the big predatory body of a panther, something with a large neck, so that
Okay.
even though it'll have a similar details to Umbreon, it automatically does not have the exact body of one. Gotta make sure it's not
Not
facing
small and
us.
cute.
All the other evolutions will be directly towards the audience, but this one is indifferent to us. The eyes are more mature versions of Umbreon's, and I originally wanted the ears to be either porcupine-like or perhaps made of toxic gas, but honestly, just fatter versions of the original is good enough. Looks
Yeah,
like they are
it's
engorged
fine.
with poison. Facing the back like a standoffish cat, the tail will officially be a stinger. It naturally flows from the previous form. I'm giving it wispy, gaseous whiskers, and I thought I was genius
Nice.
for adding in these gassy manes, both tying it to the legendary beasts, making it look more like a big cat, and differentiating it from Umbreon. But again, when it comes to the Eevee family, you need to be subtle. So that means that this mane kind of ruins the sleek silhouette. I want it to look shady and
a
sneaky,
little.
not proud and regal. So after refining the shapes, I took the mane out. Yeah, it now looks more like an Umbreon, but it's an Umbreon evolution. It would look like this. I'm giving it leopard
yeah,
spots again,
okay.
a nice progression from the existing traits Umbreon has. They won't be symmetrical and refined, both to make it look more cat-like, but also since it's a poison type now, it looks like a sludge, almost like bright markings to warn others. But as you'll see in the lore,
yeah,
it's
there you
also
go.
there for the opposite reasons. I'm giving it a similar color scheme to Umbreon, but way more radioactive looking.
Whoa.
Like I've been saying for years, it ain't mean to add some green. Beware the evolved form of Umbreon, Umbreus, the moonlight Pokemon, from Umbra
Okay.
meaning shadow and Deus meaning god. A dark poison type. Umbreus' whiskers allow it to locate prey. The spots on this Pokemon's fur can
Nice.
change color, allowing Umbreus to camouflage into its environment. Umbreus secretes an odorless sweat that completely cloaks its scent and location. Umbreus' prey never sense its presence. At the right moment, Umbreus pounces on its prey and injects a venom from its swollen tail that instantly knocks out its food. It is believed
Damn, look at that. Oh, wait, hold on. Look at that thing. It's gigantic. Holy damn. I was not expecting it to be that big. Okay.
That gamma radiation reflected by the moon has been absorbed by Umbreus, giving it radioactive venom that destroys cells and even atoms. Tracking down an Umbreus is impossible.
There we go.
Its existence is legendary as a result of its mastery of evasion. It has the abilities Corrosion and the hidden ability Inner Focus. I can't take credit for its awesome shiny since Umbreon already had a great shiny. I need you to remember the following though. All of the Pokemon evolutions in this video evolved via an item that unlocks the full potential of Eeveelutions. It's the same item for all. I assume it's a straight-up radioactive stone that destabilizes Eevee's DNA further, but I can't say I'm not biased towards this color scheme. It's amazing. Sure, in this video it's the evolution most similar to its previous form, but its body type is definitely heftier than Umbreon's, and its skull is much more massive.
Hefty.
Umbreon was always black cat coated, so to fully realize it as a leopard is what I've always wanted it to see.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Oop, hold on folks, we'll be right back. And we're back.
Now that you're eased in, I want to change a lot about
Leafeon.
Not because I dislike anything about its design, because honestly, Leafeon looks perfect, but rather because I wanted to take its leaves and turn them into entire trees. You see, most of Leafeon's lore is about how it produces a bunch of clean air. Sounds like a tree to me. They're the same picture. So let's fully develop Leafeon into a forest spirit that represents the entire planet. You may be thinking fairy is appropriate, but Sylveon already exists, so
I was thinking grass ground.
Make it ground type because that very much represents the earth.
Called it!
I don't think anybody would challenge that statement. And trees are rooted into the ground and pretty much always touch dirt. Grass/ground Leafeon Evo it is. Eevee's mutation has gone so far as to return it to the planet's ecosystem. This will be the toughest since I plan to deviate from the original's body type quite a lot, almost like the opposite of the Umbreon evolution. I'm starting with a more deer-like body. The hardest part is whether or not to also get extreme and give it the face of a deer-like Pokemon, or keep it feline-esque.
Oh, mini
I'll struggle with that at this point of the process, but it all comes down to it not even looking anything like a Leafeon, especially now that I turned the leaves on its ears and tail into full-on trees. I even made some of the hair tufts into branches. So in order to balance out the crazy difference in this Pokemon's body parts, I decided to finally give it a face more akin to its previous form. Now I'm more confident in the aesthetic. Its feet are now slender hooves covered in bark and dirt, and the end of its branches are a bunch of tiny leaves. You know what trees are. I mean, is there any human above the age of 2 that does not know what a tree is? Who cares? Why am I asking these questions?
Yes, but that's a very sad answer that I'm not gonna give.
People even watch this part of the video? Comment with your favorite tree if you're actually watching right now. Okay, honestly, don't do that. I literally do not care about your favorite tree.
Oh,
but I
come
do
on,
care
man.
about your favorite grass-type Pokemon, so, let me know in the comments. I finally added some of the bark texture and began coloring away, but even that was a hassle, because I didn't know where the fur ended and tree began at some points in the body. To be fair, Leafeon does showcase a very noticeable transition in its colors between fur and leaf, so this question I had when coloring in... Oh my god. So this question, I thought there was a bug. So this question I had when coloring in my evolution carried over. At this point, I kind of, for some reason, forgot that I wanted it to be a ground type, but then I remembered, so I added some sedimentary stripes. Adding those helps with my problem, and I also gave it layers that look like earth, finally making it look more like a ground type. Behold, Leafeus, the verdant Pokemon, a grass-ground Pokemon. As Leafeus walks, the air behind it purifies. It strolls from forest to forest, revitalizing life. When it encounters particularly devastated ecosystems, it plants its hooves into the ground, stretching out roots for miles, and begins to replenish the environment's energy. It despises conflict, but will bash its antlers into those who hurt the planet. Leafeus will send a storm of razor-sharp leaves to protect the forest. It's easy to track the path of Leafeus, as the plants in its wake are far greener, but no trainer dares approach one and invoke the wrath of every forest Pokemon who's compelled to fight on behalf of Leafeus. It has the ability Sap Sipper and
That's what you gotta make one.
And its shiny is just how I like it. I was gonna give it Grassy Surge originally, but that kind of weakens the power of Earthquake and Bulldoze, and I would definitely want Leafeus to utilize Earthquake. But hey, if you think high horsepower is enough to do the job, then let me know if you think Grassy Surge should be the ability instead. Design-wise, it's definitely more complicated than I anticipated one of these Pokemon being, but it still looks very natural. Definitely the natural progression of Leafeon. I'm in love with the colors, and I'm proud of how I shaded the shrubbery. It's the first time I did it this way. Flareon seems to be the evolution that is dogged on the most.
Of course, Flareon, the first of all evolutions.
For its competitive prowess, I mean, I assume its move pool doesn't make much sense with its stats. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I found a perfect solution, but I at the very least hope it doesn't make it worse. The lore that we're going to be expanding on is the fact that Flareon's fluffy fur releases heat into the air so that the body does not get excessively hot. But what if Flareon's mutation wears off and causes it to slowly lose the ability to contain and release a healthy amount of heat? It overheats and becomes a ghost. The thermal energy mixes with its soul. Now, this doesn't happen in real life. There's no physical phenomenon that I can point to as an inspiration, so you're gonna have to go along with this fantastical origin.
Well,
My goal
okay.
is to make Flareon seem a bit more badass. A cool yet still beautiful type of Pokemon. My favorite type of Pokemon, personally. We begin with a mid-action pose. Dude is battling demons. Thank God he's a demon himself. But we're basically drawing a Flareon, but with way more fluff and a more feline face. The eyes are also more serious, so much so that its face is a skull. That's how serious it gets.
Oh, love
Nothing
it.
more serious than a skull. Its face was burnt off. I mean, that's even more serious than you thought. I mean, a skull
It's
could belong
Ghost
to someone who
Rhino.
died of old age or something. But no, this skull belongs to a Flareon whose face was burnt off. The problem is that we don't want to make it look too edgy and hardcore. Remember that a huge rule of Pokemon designs is to avoid extremes. I think I'm going to do that by making sure every
Yeah.
single other aspect of this Pokemon is soft and cuddly. But obviously I'll also tone down the skull a bit. The neck fur will also be swirling ectoplasm, kind of like a
Ooh.
Spiritomb. I assume it'll be spinning like one when animated in the game. Honestly, if there
That'd
are
be nice.
any 3D animators in chat who for some reason, did I say in chat? In the comments, who for some reason have no time and love my content so much that they'll just like animate a fake mon of mine, animate this one. It would be very tough though, so I mean, I'll compromise. Animate Twug. Remember Twug? Kind of the
Animate
opposite of this
Twug.
guy. The tail and fluffy head will look more like a will-o'-the-wisp.
Come
And some
on.
stripes to look both like a tiger, but also like bones. I'm first giving it Flareon colors before making the orange more of a violet red, so it's a bit of a ghosty vibe. Honestly, the line
Not
work
bad.
on this one is
Not
some
bad
of
at
my
all.
favorite I've ever done. This is Flareus, the flame Pokemon, a fire ghost type.
Ah, now it's better because you gave it that little eye.
When Flareon's ability to contain the heat within its fur is diminished, it spontaneously combusts and evolves into Flareus. This Pokemon is silent and contemplative. It barely reacts, but lets out a loud roar whenever it attacks. Its boiling fur swirls around it, protecting Flareus from harm. Its head is hard as bone. It launches itself with fire blasts that release from the striped holes on its body, headbutting foes. Now that its flame sac has burst, Flareus is constantly releasing an unstable amount of heat, so none of it's properly contained, therefore its emotions do not contribute to more or less firepower. In fact, Flareus does not emote at all. It is completely solitary. No soul dares approach it and risk spontaneous burns. It has the ability
Damn.
Rockhead and Guts. Can I get some love for its shiny in the comments? I thought Rockhead would be
Yeah,
nice so it
that
could
is a
finally
pretty
use
good
moves
shiny.
like Flare Blitz and Wild Charge without
Thumbs
any
up.
consequences. This is my favorite in terms of the art itself. The design, I think, successfully looks both approachable and eerie, like a beautiful flame. Very legendary looking too.
And here we go. Oop. No, that's an ad. Not yet. And we're back.
The last evolution we're evolving
Sylveon.
today is Sylveon, the newest edition, and we're already evolving it. And to be fair, it's not that new. I mean, it's been like, what, 10 years? Yeah,
Oh
we all
my
know
God.
that Sylveon uses its ribbons to calm people down, but what intrigued me about Sylveon's lore is that half of its Pokedex entries talk about how it mostly uses its ribbon-like feelers to weaken hostility in its prey, and once its prey doesn't have the will to fight, it attacks, aiming straight for its opponent's weak spots. Almost sounds like Sylveon relishes the kill, and since it's able to sense an opponent's weak spot, I'm gonna interpret some aura powers latent in Sylveon.
Ah,
A fairy fighting
type.
Sylveon that uses its ribbons to fight and strike its foes' vital spots sounds pretty badass. It'll have a bandage aesthetic too, with those ribbons, so it'll already look like a natural progression. We're trying to start with a dynamic pose. Dude has long arms and is semi-bipedal, but most importantly, the dude is
Semi-bipedal.
pissed.
Like
He
a
is itching
gorilla.
for a fight. Since we're diverging so much from Sylveon's stance, the ears and various other traits will be relatively the same. I'll add a few more tufts of fur to indicate how ratty this Pokemon is, but also to make it look more like a moon rabbit. The proportions are a bit
Okay.
uncanny, so I'll make it a bit more quadrupedal. The ribbons on Sylveon's head will now look more like the tassels on a karate headband. The ribbons coming out of the neck will wrap around the arms like bandages, but will unravel and twirl around when mid-fight. I'll give it actual pupils and similar patterns to Sylveon, but create actual segments to its fur instead of painting on
Okay.
patterns. Finalizing the ribbon on the other arm, but at this point I kind of thought it looked too much like a regional form, like an angry fighting type Sylveon, so I evolved the pattern on its head. Again, since it's not a Sylveon anymore, patterns and features should move around and change. It's literally
There
Sylveon's
you
color
go.
scheme, but with a new pattern on his face, it
That's
looks like this
actually pretty
Pokemon's
good.
face is red with rage. Here is Sylveus, the intertwining Pokemon, a fairy
Okay,
fighting type.
not bad.
Sylveon's suppressed rage and fighting skill is unleashed upon evolution. It is now able to fully sense aura and enhance its punches to crush boulders. It surges aura through its intertwining ribbon-like feelers that wrap around its arms to release devastating blows to its opponent's vitals. It wraps its prey in ribbons only to finish them off with consecutive punches. It is very efficient and does
Good.
not make any superfluous moves. It goes directly for its opponent's weak spot and finishes them off as quickly as possible. The duality between its desire to fight and end conflicts leaves it fairly unsatisfied. It's common for Sylvius to calm down other Sylvius so that they can find momentary peace. Throughout history,
Punch!
humans have used Sylvius as the symbol of man's duality, the capacity for both war and peace. It has the abilities Unburden and Pixelate. I love the pose I gave it, and the shading that adds more dimension to its design is immaculate. Since I'm still not a master, I definitely struggle with making my art a bit flat.
Hey man, you may not be a master, but your art is still damn good. I mean, you're creating all these Fakemon by yourself alone. So that's some talent right there. Oh, damn it, it did the double click again. Sorry, folks.
Although that's mostly because of the time constraints when making these videos, but this is a design I'm personally confident in how three-dimensional it looks. If you were particularly impressed with this patch, leave a like and subscribe for more. Check the description for the music I used, the t-shirts I made for you guys, and my Patreon, where you can get cool rewards like seeing my videos days early, which you can also do.
Well, folks, that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Yeah, link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.